Hello, I'm John Batt, and welcome to another in my series of online video guitar lessons. The subject of this lesson is learning open position chords. An open position chord is one that uses open strings and is located within the first three frets. An open string is a string that is played, but there are no fingers down on it. For this lesson, it would be helpful for you to have on hand a chart of the basic open position chords for reference. So we will begin with how to read a chord diagram. We have a series of horizontal lines that go across and vertical lines go up and down. The vertical lines represent the 6 strings of the guitar. So the line on the far right is the first or highest sounding string. Next to that is the second string, then the third, fourth, fifth, and the one on the far left is the 6th string. There's a row of squares that move horizontally along the top of the diagram. That represents the 1st fret. The row of squares beneath that is the 2nd fret, and beneath that is the 3rd fret. So for our first example, I'm going to use an E7 chord. And we see that above some of the strings, we see a circle indicated. The circle means that that particular string is played as an open string. On other strings, we see numbers on those strings. Those refer to the fingers of your fret hand, and they are designated as follows: 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger. So if you see a 1 on the diagram, you would use your 1st finger to play that. And it's important to follow the fingerings that are indicated on the diagrams. So when we try to learn these chords, we want to read the diagram from left to right, moving from the 6th string to the 1st string. Don't try to look at the diagram as a whole picture and put your fingers down all at the same time. If you read it from left to right, doing this one string at a time, this will speed up the learning process and you'll memorize these chord diagrams a lot faster. So on the E7 chord, take a look at the 6th string. You see a circle over that string, which means we play it open, no fingers down on it. The next string, the 5th string, we see a number 2 on the 2nd fret. So place the 2nd finger on the 2nd fret, 5th string. The 4th string is open. The 3rd string has a 1 on the 1st fret. So you place your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. And then the 2nd and 1st strings are open. So we play this chord one string at a time, listening to our sound. Our next example, we use a C chord. You will notice on the 6th string on a C chord, there's an X over that string. That means that string is not in the chord. It does not exist as far as that chord is concerned. So this chord will use 5 strings rather than 6. So we go to the 5th string, we see a 3 on the 3rd fret. So you place your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret on the 5th string. And you can see that the first 3 frets, the spacing on the frets is rather wide. I recommend placing your finger right behind the fret rather than on this end of the fret, because you get a better tone. You won't have to press down on the string as hard. Moving on to the 4th string, we see a 2 there. So that's 2nd finger on the 2nd fret. The 3rd string is open. 2nd string, there is a 1 on the 1st fret. So that's 1st finger placed on the 1st fret on the 2nd string. And the 1st string is played open. So we play those strings one at a time. Now it's important to make sure that you're maintaining the correct playing position. If you're not sure what the correct playing position is, you can refer to my video lesson called proper playing position. You want to make sure you have your wrist down, not hiked up like this. If you have your wrist down, it's easy to get those fingers on the fingertips. Okay, so play the strings one at a time, listening to each string for a good, clean, clear sound. Now, if you find that some of those strings are being muted, that's usually happening for one of two reasons. If it's a string that you have a finger down on, it's probably because you're not applying sufficient pressure to get the sound. Or your finger may be placed right on top of the fret. If it's right on top of the piece of metal, you won't get a sound there no matter how hard you press down on it. So make sure your finger is right behind the fret and up on the fingertip. If it's an open string that's being muted out, that's probably being caused by the fingers not being up on the fingertips. And so, for example, a common problem in a C chord is like the first string will not come out clear. And that's because the first finger is touching that first string, not allowing it to vibrate. So the solution to that is make sure your playing position is good. You have your wrist down and those fingers up on the fingertips as much as you can get them there. So we're going to strum these chords now in certain rhythms. The first one is going to be in a whole note rhythm. A whole note is a note that gets 4 counts. Okay, so we're going to strum this 4 counts, meaning we strum on count 1 and just let it ring for 4 counts. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next one is a half note rhythm. A half note is a 2 count note, so that means every 2 beats we will be strumming the chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our next rhythm is a quarter note rhythm. The quarter note receives 1 count, so we will be strumming on every beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In your first attempts at playing these chords, you will experience some discomfort. The ends of your fingers will be sore. The muscles in your hand may feel fatigued. The solution to this is to put some time in on this every day, because you'll start to toughen up the ends of those fingers and you'll start to develop the muscles in your hands. If you do this, soon you won't experience any discomfort on the ends of your fingers or with your hands getting tired. So consistency is the key. That concludes this lesson. If you are interested in private lessons, please refer to the contact information on this website, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. I will be posting new lesson videos periodically, so keep watching and keep strumming.